Hello, everyone, and welcome to Derry. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe with you, getting set for our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire game of the week between the Pinkerton Astros and the Londonderry Lancers. Always a fun one, always a rivalry. Two neighboring towns, two schools that, well, frankly, don't like each other. Isn't that what a rivalry is all about? Two of the better teams yet again in Division I, as they perennially seem to be. The Astros, of course, still technically the two-time defending champions. Trying to get a little bit of momentum with them going into the upcoming Division I tournament. This may be a Division I tournament preview as well, as both of these teams could meet up in the D1 quarterfinals. And if so, Roger, that would be, I believe, one of the better Division I quarterfinal matchups if these two teams do indeed face each other a couple of weeks from now.
Yeah, by far, this pod or region.
Sure.
I've been trying to come up with cute names for all of them. But clearly, given the buys that the other teams in Division I have, this matches up in the quarterfinals to be the toughest matchup out of all of Division I, the way I see it.
Yeah, as we see the tournament right now, Pinkerton, by the way, all via luck of the draw because of the open tournament format due to the COVID-19 situation. The regions within the three divisions are based on geography. This so happens to be Region 1. The preliminary round will feature Pinkerton and Salem. And the Astros widely expected to knock off the Blue Devils in that prelim round. And then the quarterfinal matchup would feature Londonderry, who has a bye and awaits the winner there. So this could be a playoff preview, and they will meet again in Londonderry on Thursday to conclude the regular season. It's a gorgeous day. It's also, Roger, Senior Day. And the Astros have plenty of seniors to recognize and honor, which they will do so momentarily here in Derry.
Yeah, they've got an entire starting lineup out there that they could put out in the field with the exception of goaltender by the looks. I don't think that's what we'll see at the start tonight. But just one more thing about the brackets. These teams here could essentially be playing each other 3 times in the next 10 days.
Right.
And that's tough. That's kind of like the Winnicott-Portsmouth matchup that we did last week, where that could very well be the same thing there. Yeah,
it's really a dual-edged sword. I guess you get more familiar with the opponent, but if you win those first 2 regular season matchups, hypothetically, if a team does go 2-0 to close out the campaign, it's that old adage, that old rule of thumb, it's tough to beat a team 3 times in a season, and that's really across all sports, right?
Exactly, and there's some pride out there. Obviously, this is a rivalry that goes way back. The New Hampshire high school sports rankings have these teams at 3 and 4, and they've been pretty much that way most of the season. And this could be, the standings don't make a whole lot of difference in terms of the bracket, but certainly there's bragging rights that go along with not only winning the rivalry, but the next, 3 games, who's going to, win that rubber match if it goes 1-1 this week. And there's a lot of things in play there, which adds to this excitement, I'm sure.
Yeah, confidence as well. You want your team playing their best lacrosse going into the postseason. I'd imagine that would come along with a couple of W's. All right, we talked about it. The seniors set to be honored here. There's, 12, I believe, by my count.
So, yeah.
12 seniors.
Exactly, 12.
One of the bigger rosters, really statewide here with Pinkerton. Not surprising, given they are the largest school in the state of New Hampshire. Well over 3,000 students here at the academy. Londonderry. They've been here for a while. They showed up shortly after halftime of the girls' game, which kicked off at 3:30. The Londonderry ladies, by the way, took care of business 14-10 here on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire. That was a big crowd. This appears to be a bigger crowd as the student section, good to see, filling out. Of course, the students, really the big losers in this whole COVID-19 situation. The parents allowed to see the action live, but up until recently, the students had not been allowed to fill out the student section. They are here, though. The home fans are in their red, white, and blacks, the Pinkerton colors. Well, there's a few Londonderry supporters here in blue and white to cheer on the visitors, but by and large, this is a Pinkerton crowd, and appropriately so, given we are at Pinkerton.
Yeah, and I do see some students kind of filtering down on the fence line down there, and there's obviously some carryovers from the girls' game here. Good to see. Always a lively crowd here.
And a great day for lacrosse. Temperatures at one point hit as high as 88. Not quite sure it's still that hot. A little bit of a breeze back here, as there typically is. But still, the sun out, and obviously a gorgeous day.
A little different than our first game we did here when it was
night and day,
40-mile-per-hour gusts, and it was probably a 30-degree or less wind chill.
Yep. All right, some of the seniors posing with mom and dad down there as well, and of course, good to see this part of the game return after, of course, those seniors last year robbed of a season, robbed of a senior night. In a lot of ways, I'm sure the seniors are going to be playing with those guys maybe in mind, right?
I would think so, yeah. And I always enjoyed senior night. It was a way to reflect back on a lot of the boys that you coach from youth all the way up through the ranks, kind of giving them the final send-off if you're not going into the playoffs, but certainly from the school standpoint, and it's was privileged to partake in a number of those while I coached at Bedford High School and be a parent as part of that a couple of times with my own 2 sons. So always a good event.
And, of course, on the other side, for Londonderry, they've played with heavy hearts this season. One of their seniors, Jacob Nar, passed away tragically just before the start of the season. And, well, they've kind of dedicated this year to the Nar family, to the memory of Jake Nar. They've got a custom-made flag, which is flying here at the stadium. They've got, obviously at all times, they've got Jake on their minds here, and I'd imagine that would be even more amplified given that it is the final week of the regular season, and I believe Londonderry is going to hold their senior night festivities on Thursday when these two teams meet in the rematch.
Yeah, that would make sense. I like what Londonderry has done with their tribute to Jake. I've done several of their games this year, and every single time that has been the lead entity as they entered the field and made their round. Yes, yep. And held by one of the Londonderry players as they did their initial warm-up to go around the field, and that's been very nice to see.
Yeah, they've got his jersey with them as well down there, Jake Nar, number 2. Meanwhile, on the home side of the field, the Astros continuing to trot out these 12 seniors one by one.
We get to see these players without their helmets on, too.
Right, getting a face
yeah,
to the name, which is always good. Don't see that sometimes in both lacrosse and football, the player hidden behind the face masks and the helmet. But
yeah, exactly.
They all got the long hair, don't they? Is that part of the culture here?
It always has been.
The lacrosse culture in general, right?
Always has been. Always has been.
Maybe that's why I never get in, because I started losing my hair around 1920.
Jeez, man, my sympathies. I had hair down to the middle of my back and the earring and everything in college.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it had to play the part. Had to fit into that free flow culture. Of course, lacrosse wasn't as big in 1979 in the early 80s as it is today.
Well, you're one of the trailblazers.
Yeah, we were kind of setting the pace. In Metro Philadelphia where I grew up, and it was mostly private schools, much like it was here in New England too, early on. But it was a lot of fun back then.
Well, and you've seen the sport. Not to get too far off track here, but we got a few minutes till the opening face-off. You've seen the sport really firsthand explode, I guess would be the appropriate term at this point. You were a player. You've seen it across state lines. You obviously were a coach, a parent of successful players. I mean, you've seen it firsthand grow. What has been, I guess, the standout difference over the last couple of years as the game has really caught on from a popularity standpoint?
A couple of things. Number one, the equipment. I mean, my father played at Tabor Academy in the 50s, and my first stick was a Woody, and I have a picture of me holding that stick and playing with it. So that has been just a phenomenal change from when the Woodies were being used, and then the first plastic sticks that came out.
And the wooden ones are heavier, I'd imagine?
Not always, but if you were a defender and you had some, we used to say, you had some really good wood, those were pretty heavy sticks back then. The balance wasn't great, but certainly the change in the equipment, has been just a metamorphosis of changes over the years. The second thing is the youth programs. There were no youth programs back in my day. There were no youth programs up until maybe the mid-'90s in a lot of communities. Maybe Long Island, Baltimore, that area did have youth programs, but certainly not in the Pennsylvania, Philadelphia market where I grew up. And then when I moved to New England, it was all private school. Phillips, Exeter, Pinkerton, obviously, some of the other private schools, but literally nobody else in the public schools. To see that happen since I moved back here to New Hampshire in 1982, and then be on the state board for youth lacrosse for a number of years, be the U.S. lacrosse liaison from Baltimore to the state of New Hampshire. So many positive things. Very, very few negative things, and thankfully the state of New Hampshire has had a very strong NHIAA board and some great people. The Osier family, Marty Osier, his two brothers that were a big part of NHIAA and the youth sports then. It's come a long way. Great to see.
Yeah. All right, it looks like we're getting set for the national anthem. That is not in the cards here this afternoon. I think the flag came up missing.
It
was
did.
The word.
Was that a senior prank thing
it
that
could
happened
be.
This week?
Wouldn't surprise me.
Senior cut day and then senior prank day.
All right, we'll step aside, come back with the action next. Pinkerton and Londonderry here on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school varsity and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com.
Here we go.
All right, back and ready to rumble here in Derry. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe with you. Lancers and Astros meeting for the first of two, a home and home to close out the regular season. These two teams widely expected to meet in the quarterfinal round of the tournament as well. Those brackets are already out. A lengthy face-off. It goes in the end to the Lancers, Roger, and the visitors a chance to set up the attack. A shot on the run. It's going to get sent back. And quickly to that ground ball is Kyle Zern, one of the defenders, expected to log a lot of minutes tonight for Pinkerton. He clears it himself. And now the Astros take over on the attack.
Yeah, Sammy Otis took that right off the chest area on that shot. Big rebound out. And now Pinkerton gets a chance here. Watch Spellman. He had a heck of a game the last time we called a Pinkerton game. I think he had 4 straight in that game.
Yeah, we saw the first meeting between the Blue Hawks and the Astros. When was that?
That was
last week already?
May 18th.
Yeah, so a week from yesterday.
Oh, there's a push.
Meanwhile, Somersault lost the ball. That was Uber. Michael Uber picked up. And then Ogier going to slide his way right to the goal to give Pinkerton the initial 1-0 lead. That is our reigning New Hampshire Tomahawks Player of the Week, by the way, the senior Hunter Druin. And Druin, future Colgate Raider, able to slip through 3 defenders and beat the goaltender.
Yeah, he actually had a chance to put that in the back of the net on his first dodge, and he just wanted to go one more, and he sure and heck did, and came right up on the crease. Good couple of moves by Hunter. He gets a good start, and it could be problematic for the Lancers defense.
One of the co-captains, well-spoken young man. We interviewed him back on Sunday.
That should go to Pinkerton. Yeah, it should. There was a hold. The Lancer midfielder held on to Cole Frank's shirt as he was trying to get the ground ball.
So 1-1 on the face-offs. Pinkerton a 1-0 lead, a chance to double that here very early on. All right, Druin behind the cage. Mason Barboni. This on the far side is Joey Gallo, one of these sophomore midfielders, shot there wide. Pinkerton will keep it. Just 2 minutes gone by. First quarter. Astros, well, have handled pretty much everybody on the schedule, with the exception of Bishop Girton and Exeter, combined 0-4 against those two teams, which are widely seen as number 1 and 2 in the state. Here's number 2 for Hunter Druin. Able to wind up and fire. Releases a laser here from the near wing. Look at this. Colgate's going to be getting one heck of a player. Astros get the lead they wanted. It's 2-0 with 2.5 minutes gone by in this second quarter. First quarter, excuse me.
Big overload there, and Mike Uber was able to find Druin coming out from goal line extended. You can't leave Hunter that open without a help on the defense.
Quick start for Pinkerton. 1-1 at the face-off X. This one goes to Londonderry.
Yeah, Cole Frank seems to be having difficulty with the ground balls here.
On the move. Fawcett. Shot. It was off the crossbar. Fawcett, a three-sport athlete, able to swim his way through the defense there. Meanwhile, the ground ball to the Astros, the clear for Hunter Druin. Druin. And a turn on. Wants another. Fires and scores. Hunter Druin. A hat trick with 3 minutes and 3 seconds into the game.
Hey, that's a natural hat trick. We ought to be throwing your hat out there. That was a good play. Great clear, too. Nearly uncontested by the Lancers on the ride, giving it almost a free path for Druin on that far right side.
Well, not the start that Londonderry head coach Roger Sampson was hoping for. And you could see he's not very pleased down there roaming the Londonderry sideline. Got a hold here. Goes against the Lancers. That evens things up at the X at 2 apiece. Pinkerton a chance to increase their lead. Already out in front, 3-0. Hunter Druin. 3 goals already. His older brother Mason stand out at Bryant. And as we mentioned, he's a Colgate commit as well.
Good defense.
Little one-on-one far side.
Watch the slide here.
Here's Druin.
Yep, they're going early this time.
Yep. Hacking away. That's Durhack, the defender. Robbie Durhack, one of the seniors. He's committed to Southern New Hampshire University. Nearly 4 minutes in. Astros patient here. Looking to extend their early lead to 4-0. Barboni deep behind the cage. The long pole is out to meet him. That's Pedrick Provost.
Got to step on him.
Step on Provost. Good slide. That's Dylan McEachern who comes over. The ball ends up loose.
That's over. That's over. Over.
Over and back. They give it to Londonderry. Quick restart. On the move. This is Jack Kester. Shot denied. Good save. Curtis Michaud, the sophomore goaltender. Made it look easy there.
Yeah. Good quick whistle there, too, by official Grimes to let him get right on their horse and get that ball in action. That's what we should see more often. That's how it's supposed to be played.
Barboni swings it far side. Astros going to take their time. The senior Jackson Morissette is on the far wing. Here's Gallo up top. Pass to the middle, and then a fired high shot from Ryan Lynch. Sophomore has seen his role increase seemingly as the year has gone on. Played pretty well last week against Exeter. Spin move. Barboni. Yeah. Beautiful finish. The assault continues. A dream start for the home team. Pinkerton with 5 minutes gone by. Lead 4-0.
Boy, nice inside roll there on the Lancer defense. Left him just one-on-one with the goalie. Great play.
Well, you can tell Pinkerton fired up and ready to go here, as the shots have been crisp. As you mentioned a moment ago, the restart has played into this. I mean, Pinkerton looks like they're on their A game at least through the first 5 minutes.
Exactly. Yes, and if that was one of my keys to this game, was that the games that I have seen Pinkerton play this year, it's been painful to see them get it started in the first quarter. They really, the Bishop Girton game, the Exeter game, they really didn't get into a flow until about the second quarter, and then they come up with a string of runs, and this is good to see for them. One of their big keys.
Well, the action has been at this end of the field by and large most of the way through the first half of this first quarter. That's where we are 6 minutes in. And again, Pinkerton already in front 4-0. They're going to back up Michael Uber. Give him a one-on-one here with the defender Aiden Dennis. Near side, Druin. Trying to shake off Durhawk, who continues to chop with that long stick. Druin says forget it, goes back up top, and now Riley Spellman is given room. You mentioned it. At Exeter, Spellman scored 4 unanswered about midway through the second quarter. And did it all, Roger, in less than 90 seconds.
Yeah, that was what I was going to say because he was just on fire. And then the other key that I was going to bring forward is that Pinkerton had 4 extra man goals in that game. And if you recall, they had an extra man after his 4th goal, and they pulled him off the field. He was so tired from those 4 goals that he couldn't go out for the EMO, or didn't.
Meanwhile, pass broken up. It's Durhawk comes out of the fray for Londonderry. Pretty good pivot move by the big man. He gets rid of it. This is Hunter Smith along the far side. Well, really just the second time Londonderry has been able to settle in on the attack. Trailing 4-0, still seeking their first goal.
Yeah, the 2 times that they've had possession, they've run right at the goal. They've really gone hard. And one went off the crossbar. The other one, Michaud saved, and they were back on defense.
Smith. Zern, the long pole defender, trying to shake him off to the right.
Nice
Good pass, but it's, in the end, left on the carpet. Aiden O'Loughlin, the senior, the intended target. Zern, another good clear. Takes a big shot from 3 different blue jerseys. Bailed out by Ryan Lynch, and then bailed out further by Steve Gaudreau from the sideline. Timeout, Pinkerton. Well, Zern with a couple of early clears, did it well there. It goes Gaudreau, who, of course, spent time at the NCAA level as head coach of St. Anselm for 6 years. Gets a timely timeout there to preserve the possession with 4 minutes and change to go in this first quarter.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that. You don't want to be burning timeouts this early in the half. But I'll tell you, they've got such a run going on right now with time of possession, and they got a chance to get that ball back after a misfire down on the Londonderry offensive end that, hey, let's take some time out. Let's run a couple of plays here. They did start to slow it down on that last possession. The Astros did, that is. Let's see what we can start here on the sidelines and get things going here. Little under 5 minutes, 4:21 left in the quarter, so still a lot of time.
Yeah. Well, plenty of time, I'm sure, and that may be part of the message now in the Londonderry huddle from head coach Roger Sampson telling his guys not to panic, not the start they wanted, but certainly a long way to go. Astros, meanwhile, looking to make it back-to-back wins. They pounded Wyndham 17-4 their last time out. Needed that one after back-to-back losses last week, as we mentioned, at the hands of the Blue Hawks. They were competitive against Exeter in both of those losses, 12-10, 9-7, the 2 final scores. Londonderry, meanwhile, after losing to Exeter back on May the 8th, have rattled off 3 in a row. 2 against the Nashua North Titans and 1 over Sauhegan. All right, 4 minutes remaining. First quarter. It's been all Pinkerton so far. Spellman. Near side, Astros. They've been patient on the attack. They go behind the cage. This is Liam Prescott, the junior, his first touch. Now a shot is denied. From his knees, Londonderry goaltender Dane Duarte, the sophomore, who I believe, Roger, began the year on the JV team.
Yeah, we noticed that on the roster. Actually, I did when I watched the Bedford Londonderry game.
That was back on May the 1st.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, a turnover at midfield. Maybe an avoidable mistake there by Londonderry. Doesn't sit well with Coach Sampson, I'm sure.
Yeah, your goalie comes up big there, and then you throw it away on the clear. That's not how you want to see things turn out here.
Especially after your defense had just worked to force the giveaway.
Yeah.
All right. Far side, Barboni. He's got 1. Hunter Druin.
Oh, good defense.
Has the other 3 for Pinkerton. Here's a brilliant turnover. O'Loughlin, who I think is the safety, either the safety or the corner for the football team in the fall. He's going to bring it across midfield and get a timeout from Coach Sampson. It comes with inside of 3 minutes remaining in this first quarter. So Londonderry back-to-back stops, which is a good place to start, I suppose, on defense. Now the attention focuses to getting that icebreaker, that first goal here.
Yeah, I think if I'm Coach Sampson, I'm going to tell my boys to settle down. Let's not take the first shot we see with the first look we see. Let's get into some sort of flow on our offense. Let's see if we can't run a couple of our basic sets and try and retain possession. If we don't get a goal, we'll at least get the backup and be able to run it again. So they got 3 minutes to play around here and see what they can get started. They've got to get something started, that's for sure.
All right, out of the timeout, Londonderry. I think they produced just 2 shots. So far?
Yeah, one off the crossbar and one was a save by Michaud.
Yep. Just 2 shots in 9 minutes. That's a ratio that's not going to work.
Not in this game.
No.
Not in this game.
That's Brandon Savage, far side, getting set for the restart. Andy McDonald, another multi-sport athlete, matched up with him. Wind picking up a little bit. Nice breeze. Senior night here. The senior-led Astros out in front. 4-0. Here's a shot. Low release from Kester that ends up wide. Out of play in the far corner. It'll stay with Londonderry as Isaac McCune restarts. Matched up with Kyoshi Dustin. Another one of these 12 Pinkerton seniors. Here's another Londonderry turnover.
Yeah, that's an automatic whistle over and back, and they were doing what I thought they were going to do. They had 2 backups with the attack there, and they got the ball back, and they just simply threw it out of bounds here.
Coming up on 2 minutes remaining first quarter. Pinkerton looking for a 5-0 lead. Spellman has the step. Shot about a foot wide of that far post.
Yeah, that slide was coming very quick.
Good hustle, by the way, by Evan Parker of Londonderry, the senior, to ensure the possession. Sorry, Roger, to
that's quite
cut
right.
you off.
No, and that's more important than what I was about to say because Londonderry needs this ball back.
Kester able to split the defenders at midfield. He's got perhaps Pinkerton's best defender, Declan Turner, on his hip. Kester fakes one way, spins right.
Oh, I like this.
Leaves it up top. Shot denied. Michaud read that one. Brandon Savage let it fly with some heat. Now the outlet pass is taken in by Londonderry. Too strong. Trying to free up Declan Conroy.
What a pick.
Zern turns it over. This one then knocked down. Still loose near side. Druin can't find it. And the Londonderry long stick, Nicholas Villano. Another senior in on it. Now it's loose again. Far side, Durhawk trying to keep it in play. Broken up by Zern along the far sideline. Shoving match with Smith. Smith ends up with it. Has the inside track. Smith now headed to the goal. Going to go behind the cage. Dustin in pursuit, trying to jar that loose with the long stick. Going to drive Smith all the way to the near corner. Now a 2-man game set up with Dennis. Dennis giving room. Game picking up a little bit of pace here as we move inside the final minute first quarter. Londonderry looking for their first goal. Dennis changes direction. Pass taken near side. This is DeFranzo. And Josh DeFranzo's shot ends up wide. Ends up with the sophomore goaltender Michaud for Pinkerton. Astros now trying to work against the clear. Down to 25 seconds. Pass to the middle. This is Druin. It's the man they want to have the ball. Druin scored the first 3 goals of the game.
Somebody's got to be open.
There's 2 men on him. He throws it over the head of his teammate Gallo. Tip back across the 50. Gallo picks it up. We're down to 5 seconds. Gallo behind the cage. Spin move. This is Lynch. Lynch lost it near the cage. It'll roll out of bounds, and that'll do it for the first quarter. Pinkerton, they got the start they wanted on senior day. 3 goals from Hunter Druin right out of the gate. Mason Barboni adds a 4th, and Pinkerton's got a 4-0 lead after 12 minutes. We're right back to Derry in just a moment. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Nick and ask this Roger Howe with you. Astros a 4-0 lead over the Lancers. A great start for the home team on senior night. There's a large crowd. Many of them without masks, by the way, which I love to see.
Live free or die.
That's right.
Nick, live free or die.
And the student section is back as well, and they've been sorely missed statewide, in my opinion.
Yeah, this is good to see.
For all sports. Starting to get back to normal slowly here. Meanwhile, Londonderry, riding a 3-game win streak coming in, really looked, frankly, overwhelmed in the opening minutes as Pinkerton built up a 4-0 lead with 4 goals in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, they clearly looked rusty. They did not play 2 games last week, so this is something that they're going to have to pick up the pace on.
Astros, meanwhile, have gotten an early advantage at the X as well. 4-2 is now my count. Meanwhile, this one out of bounds. The official is going to keep it at this end with Pinkerton. Coach Gaudreau having a word with the official. Now the restart comes from Barboni. Well, again, Pinkerton, the 2-time, as Spellman fires, the 2-time defending champs. They beat Coach Cameron's Cardinals in 2018, did it again in 19. No action at all last season, of course, due to the COVID-19 situation. And BG widely seen as the favorite in Division I, the last undefeated D1 team here heading into the final week of the regular season, but the Astros, I'm sure, would love to see them a third time. Meanwhile, shot goes wide. As I'm sure every team that BG has beaten this season would love to see them again, right? Or
I thought about this yesterday, watching that game on Twitter. BG people are very good about sending out reports, and they were up. They were up 18-0, I think, at halftime.
They're very good, as we know.
Just crazy. Nice look.
Nice pass is right, but it gets away from Dennis. Picked off by the goalie. There's Michaud. He's been excellent so far. Maintains the shutout there.
Oh.
Again, the tournament bracket released late last week. That is out. You say, what do you mean? The regular season's not over. Well, the NHIAA, due to the COVID-19 situation, opened up the tournament. It's available for every team, regardless of record. As a result, 12 Division I teams will partake, 21 Division II teams, and 14 in D3 on the boys' side. And within the bracket itself, it's broken up into 4 regions based on geography. And the seeding within those regions is based on pure luck. It was drawn from a hat. And as a result, most likely, we are going to see Londonderry and Pinkerton meet in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, I wanted to be really critical after we saw that bracket come out at Portsmouth last week. And the more I looked at all 3 divisions, the more and more I realized just how difficult a task it was for the Lacrosse committee to put this together by region. It's easy to be critical of those things. The only thing I think coming away from my analysis is that I didn't like the buys. I didn't like some of the draws with the buys that some of these teams got. But again,
there's a few winless teams.
Yeah, Spalding gets a buy in D2.
Division 2. But I think in D1, by and large, I think they got it right. I mean, you got basically 5 top teams as we get a shot and a score here from Jack Kester. That's what Londonderry needed, the senior, with a sweeping shot from about 10 yards out. Londonderry's on the board. It's now 4-1.
Yeah, he planted his foot and just rolled back into his right hand against the Astros defender, Andy McDonald, and just lowered his hands. And a nice blast there by Hester. Exactly what they needed, Nick. Exactly.
So Jack Kester gets the goal just over 3 minutes gone by in the second quarter. Face off again to Pinkerton. Their 5th win in 7 tries. Ground ball ends up with Barboni. It was Druin who did the dirty work, got the ground ball, the pass is on the money over the top, and Barboni does the rest. It's the second goal for Mason Barboni.
Yeah, give Druin a big high five on that. Good ground ball, good pass down low, and hook him up with an assist there. He's figured in, 4
of the 5, right? Yeah. The answer comes just 18 seconds after the Kester goal for Londonderry.
Oh, in the head.
Somebody took a shot there. The hacking continues. That was Londonderry's John Bauman who went flying. And ultimately, after a lengthy scrum, it ends up again with Pinkerton.
They got transition numbers here.
Barboni
nice
bouncer gets it. It's number 3 for Barboni. So 3 right off the bat for Hunter Druin of Pinkerton, and now 3 from Mason Barboni. The 2 seniors combining for all 6. Pinkerton with their largest lead now of 6-1.
Gee, and a great plant again by Druin there. And he rolls back inside to his left hand, beats Evan Parker, leaves him in the dust, and makes a nice bounce shot.
2 goals within 21 seconds. Face off again to Pinkerton, starting to build up a big advantage there.
It's starting to get cleaned up at the circle, too, for Cole Frank. He's been very effective for the Astros this entire season. He's been dealing with that left knee a little bit, and we can see him getting fatigued, late in the game sometimes. But
he's a freshman, and he's been battling for sure. And as you mentioned, that left knee, he wears a brace, big black brace on that left knee. Here's a wide shot.
Yeah, wide shot with some flying bodies there. Big check by Dylan McEachern. Sends an Astro flying.
Yeah, the hitting is picked up slowly.
Hallelujah.
Starting to take on an old school feel here in terms of the physical play, which we love.
Just stay out of the box.
Druin, look at the quickness here. Trying to shake off 2 guys, lets one fly, a laser. It goes a little high. Foot race, I think, yes, won by Londonderry.
Yeah. I like Hunter Druin's game today. We haven't seen a lot of speed from him in previous games, but, man, he can turn the corner and whistle a shot.
Yeah, he's cat quick. Meanwhile, this one rolls into the crease. Michoud is there. Splitting defenders is Braden Bork, one of the juniors. Hands it over to Druin, and now the Pinkerton attack set yet again. Here's Colby Gagnon. A rare first half touch for the junior. Gagnon back to Druin, now back to Gagnon. Coming up on the midway point, second quarter. It's been all Pinkerton so far. A 6-1 lead, and the Astros looking for more. Spellman. Shake and bake, lost it. O'Loughlin right there on his hip to force the turnover. Druin comes up with it. Kind of a sidewinder shot, ends up well wide. Barboni there as the security blanket, I guess, and keep it down at this end again with the Astros.
This will be a good matchup here with Durhack and Druin.
That's been the matchup to watch, really, so far. Meanwhile, Spellman took his eye off the ball. Londonderry right there. That's Logan McIntosh on the ground ball, and now a whistle. They're going to give this to Londonderry.
Yeah, I think Spellman touched the ball with his hand, actually.
Did he?
Yeah.
Halfway through second quarter. Fast-moving first half here on Senior Day.
Good clear.
No penalties either way.
Yeah,
not. But didn't jinx anybody.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's had a good flow, the game. As we mentioned, some physical play, but it's been under control. Londonderry trying to settle in here. They had a solid possession earlier in the frame when Jack Kester was able to score. But this Pinkerton defense has not let up much.
Now, their slides are a lot quicker than the Lancers right now, and they're recuperating and getting back in the recovery position much better as well.
This is DeFranzo. Dustin keeping him at stick length. Dustin, one of the 12 seniors. Honored before the game. Here's Smith working on Zern. Zern gives him a shove. Smith keeps his balance. Zern from behind pokes it loose. Smith doing a nice job recovering. This Pinkerton defense just pushing everything, Roger, seemingly to the perimeter here.
Yeah, I think they're feeling a little bit of intrepidation on the Lancers' part, feeling some sort of urgency to get the ball out of their stick and in the net, and they're capitalizing on that.
Inside of 5 minutes, second quarter.
This is as good as their defense has looked all season, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. Saw them last week in a loss against Exeter.
That was not a good play.
Smith! That's a good shot. Goes upstairs to beat Michoud. Really no room to spare there. Snuck it inside the crossbar. Londonderry back within 4 at 6-2.
Yeah, that was not a good play by Zern. Zern tried to put the gate up on him, and he just rolled inside on him. Smith is a big kid, and that possession that Smith had in the prior series there, he just ran right around Zern, but Zern kept up with him, not that time.
Smith, who had been working hard, gets the second Londonderry goal. Second goal of the period for the Lancers. They initially win the face-off, but Pinkerton pestering, forcing a ground ball here. In the end, it is picked up by Kester, but then his pass off target. Ground ball far side. Druin throwing his weight around. Gets inside of Durhack. Durhack looking for revenge. Slide comes over, lays a shoulder into Druin. The ball is loose. Into the mix goes Jake Rossignol for Pinkerton. And ultimately the Astros able to pull it out and take a breath as Gallo controls on the near wing. Now Uber up top. Inside of 4 minutes until halftime. Pinkerton looking to reestablish their 5-goal lead from a moment ago.
Yeah, Londonderry wins their first face-off of the quarter, and then they give it away. They needed that possession.
Pinkerton has won 7 of 10 at the X by my count. Shake and bake. Here's a good move. Big hit by the goaltender. Ball goes flying. How about that play out of the cage, Roger? Dane Duarte laying the wood.
I like it. The shot, he actually got the shot. The Astros got the shot off, and it hit him in the knee, I think, as he bellied up on him.
And the collision was really an embodiment of what we've seen here in this first half. Here's the play.
Yeah, went off his knee. Yep.
And then a little reminder.
That's one to brag about to the girls tomorrow.
Shot, Uber, score. Well, just a little bit late defensively there, and Uber makes the Lancers pay. First goal for the senior, Mike Uber.
Yeah, just a confusion on defense there as to who was going to cover Mike.
He's only a sophomore, by the way, not a senior. My mistake.
We'll give you
Looked
that
like a senior there, though.
Yeah, I mean, Villeneuve just kind of out in no man's land when the whistle blew, and he got back late on top of Mike, and Mike just let it rip.
Uber makes it 7-2. Seen 3 from Hunter Druin, 3 from Mason Barboni. And now a Pinkerton goal from Michael Uber. Hunter Smith, Jack Kester, the other 2 for Londonderry. Both have been scored in the second quarter. Pinkerton scored the first 4 of the game 5 minutes in. Londonderry has tried to play catch-up since. Pinkerton's 5-goal lead is their largest.
Yeah, they need this. They need this possession in the worst way, coming down to the 2.5-minute mark in the quarter. They really have not gotten a good flow going today, and Pinkerton has really pressured them on defense.
Yeah, they've gotten after it defensively. O'Loughlin up top, shadowed by McDonald. Good communication here as well from Pinkerton, and they've really just gone after him along the perimeter.
That's good defense right there. Eat it up.
That's
Love
Turner
it.
just
Love
hacking
it.
away at Dennis.
No.
Now the flag does fly. A little too aggressive there by Declan Turner, one of the captains. First penalty either way. It's going to come inside of 2 minutes.
Nice dip.
O'Loughlin. Shot wide, ends up out of play, and now the game's first penalty will be assessed with 1:43 to go in this second quarter.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that, Mr. Anastas. He had great defense, great positioning, and he's only going to give him a push there. I thought he was, if anything, he was going to get a slash there.
Right.
And I don't know. I don't agree with that. That's good defense in my book. You usually give the guy a warning. Back in the day it was get wood. And
it's kind of fit into what we've seen, too.
Yeah, they're being very aggressive out there. And I think it just looks worse when you have a long pole in your hand.
That's a good point. All right, Londonderry trying to cash in. 1:30 to go. Down 5, trying to grab a little bit of momentum going into halftime.
Nothing happening here.
A lot of quick passes, but no real off-ball movement, right?
This is one of my biggest complaints about a 30-second man-up. You can't play circle offense and just pass the ball perimeter. You've got to move the corners quickly.
Here's a cross-the-zone pass that ends up well off target.
And the only reason that was even close to being a play there was because the penalty expired, and it was 6-on-6. They had a new guy coming in, and they still missed the pass. Not good. Not good EMO there.
Back to even strength, and down to 1 minute to go in this second quarter. It's been all Pinkerton. Astros looking to extend their largest lead. Well, how do you handle the clock here, Roger? We're down to about 40 seconds now if you're Pinkerton with possession.
Absolutely play for last shot. You're up. There's no need to rush it.
And if you're Londonderry?
The whole game they need to press out on these guys, and they're just not doing it. They're sitting back and they're waiting. Their slides have been slow. You got to press out here.
Uber.
A good slide there.
Down to 15 seconds. Bounce pass, broken up. Then pushed
Good
over.
pass.
Spellman across the lane, tried to hook up with Lynch. I don't think Lynch was quite ready there. Ends up out of bounds with 7 seconds. It'll stay, though, with the Astros. Uber up top, Druin. He wants a shot, and he's got it. Wow. From just inside the 25-yard line, the senior flexing the muscle with 3 seconds remaining in this first half.
I'm just speechless on this. How can you let that happen? I mean, he had a clear shot, and and the goalie had a clear vision of that shot.
That's a 14-yard shot, right?
That's
probably even further out there on the wing.
That had some muscle on it. Durhack's going to be scratching his head at halftime here.
It's like something that shot out of a cannon there.
Yeah.
I mean, that had speed.
And you knew it was coming. I mean, there was 5 seconds left on the clock when he loaded up.
Hunter Druin having a dreamlike first half. 4 goals. His team up 8-2, and that will do it for the first half. Astros dominating on Senior Day. Hunter Druin leading the charge. 4 goals. His fellow senior, Mason Barboni, with 3. Sophomore Michael Uber, had 1 in that first half as well. Just 2 scores for Londonderry, Jack Kester and Hunter Smith. Coming up at halftime, we'll look back at the first half. Another big game on the other side of the state, Exeter and Bedford. We'll touch on that score, which has gone final, by the way.
Yes, it has.
In a moment. And we'll look back at the Londonderry girls' victory on this field to kick off the afternoon. All that and more next. Pinkerton up 8-2 at the break. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school varsity and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. Are you thinking of selling your home? Well, now may be the time, given that spring is here, the market is hot, and interest today. Is your company interested in showcasing your brand to thousands of high school sports fans across New Hampshire? If not, why not? And if so, let's go. Friday Night Lights New Hampshire is seeking sponsorship partners. It's the perfect way for your company to get out in front of the moms and dads who make up our community. Help us help you, and we can grow together. If you're interested in partnering with Friday Night Lights New Hampshire, then email us at fnlnhmedia@gmail.com. That's fnlnhmedia@gmail.com. Join our team today.
Halftime here in Derry. Astros with a commanding 8-2 lead over Londonderry. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe with you. A potential playoff preview. First of a home-and-home regular season matchups. They'll meet again Thursday in Londonderry. That will conclude the regular season. Astros, you could tell they wanted it on Senior Day. 12 seniors honored before the game in front of this large crowd, one of the larger crowds we've seen this season, and they wasted little time. Hunter Druin scored 1, 2, 3 goals in the first 3 minutes. Mason Barboni added a fourth, and 5 minutes into the game, Pinkerton had built a 4-0 lead that stood after one quarter. Londonderry on the board 3 minutes into the second. Jack Kester brought the Lancers back within 4-1. Then 2 more from Mason Barboni of Pinkerton, 21 seconds apart. Largest lead on the board for the Astros at that point, 4 minutes into the quarter, 6-1. Hunter Smith showing some fight for the visitors, brings Londonderry again back within 4 at 6-2. Michael Uber had an answer inside of 3 minutes for Pinkerton. The sophomore made it 7-2, and then with 3 seconds to go, one of the best shots maybe we've seen all year. Hunter Druin from about 15 yards out, lit the lamp with just 3 seconds to go. And that is where we stand at halftime with Pinkerton looking good out in front of Londonderry 8-2.
Amazing performance by Hunter Druin in that first half. Haven't seen him play like that all season long. I know he's had games like that where we haven't seen it. But to see it up close and see Pinkerton as a team come out as hard and fast as they did in this game was good to see. Londonderry needs to tighten up. They need to play a little bit better on defense. Their slides aren't quite as crisp. The second slide, I don't even think I saw a second slide out there in the first half by them. But they clearly, and it's not that the game is getting away from them, but they need to clearly possess the ball and set up a couple of good offensive drives here and get back in this quickly.
Face-offs have been an issue as well for Londonderry. Pinkerton won the majority. What do you got there, Roger?
I have got
8-4?
8-4, yeah. It's good when our numbers match. It means we're both watching the same game.
Or we're both wrong.
No, I wouldn't go that far.
No. Well, either way, Londonderry going to show some fight. We know that. Roger Sampson's going to have his guys ready for this second half, no matter what the score is. So, buckle up, because there's a long way to go here from Pinkerton Academy. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe, and a big crowd here on a gorgeous night. Final regular season game at Pinkerton. Again, the Astros will open up the postseason in the preliminary round against Salem. And then, if they can beat the Blue Devils, they will face Londonderry in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, so they'll have at least one more home game in the season by hosting that first round.
Do they host?
Yeah, they're the lower numbered seed in that bracket, so they will actually host Salem here. And
again, the seeds are not based on record. They are based on luck of the draw.
I want to see that hat, and I want to see those numbers. I want to see what happened.
Right.
Should be like the counting of votes in Wyndham right now. We want to see it.
Get a forensic audit on that.
Yeah.
All right. Druin, who put on a show, as we mentioned, fires this one off the defender's shoulder. Ends up over the fence, past the track, and up on the grassy knoll to our right. Londonderry rewarded possession. They're going to get an easy clear along the far sideline. This is O'Loughlin. Draws the attention of the defender, Spellman. He's going to bring Spellman into the corner. Hand it to Smith. Smith on a wraparound, draws the second defender. Way out now on the far side wing. It's relieved by Brandon Savage. Savage one-on-one with McDonald.
He's got edge.
Looks for the step. Slide comes over. Shot. Yes. Score.
That was a great play.
That's Kester. Goal number 2.
This is a great play. Savage just draws the defender and then gets that slide, and there's nothing there on the backside. And what a crank. That was as good a shot as Hunter Druin's, and it was in closer.
Gave Kyoshi Dustin, the defender, a shave there.
Yeah.
As that one went right by his face.
That's just good lacrosse. That's smart on Savage's part. He saw that slide coming, and there was just an open slot there with no help from the backside from Pinkerton.
So Kester gets the visitors back within 5 at 8-3. Procedure here, though, on the faceoff gives another one to Pinkerton. Now 10-4 Astros at the X. Minute and a half gone, third quarter. Sun's still out, 80-plus degree day. Nice night, final week of the regular season as we highlighted. These two teams will meet again on Thursday. By the way, the ladies, they met earlier this afternoon, two of the better Division I girls teams. That was a 14-10 Londonderry victory. They also will get together in Londonderry on Thursday. 2 minutes in, third quarter. A patient Pinkerton trip. Gallo, jab step, gets the step.
There's a slide.
Near side, good switch. That's the long stick defender, Jesse Moore, and the junior. Moore actually listed as a midfielder, providing good defense. Druin against Durhawk. The wraparound goes off the post. Barboni the ground ball. Pinkerton keeps it. Druin in the hunt for number 5. Shot over the top of the crossbar. Stays with the Astros.
That's got to be a hard move for Druin to do against Robbie Durhak. Robbie's got to have, what do you think, 4 or 5 inches on him for him to turn the corner and try and shoot past him?
That's about right.
And I bet he's got at least 20 pounds on him, too.
Durhak, considered perhaps Londonderry's best defender. He's certainly drawn the toughest matchup. Good cross pass. But it ends up on the ground instead of in the back of the net. Now loose. Londonderry trying to keep it in. Good hustle by Provost there for Londonderry. It ends up, though, with Pinkerton. Barboni is shut down. Good stop by the goaltender. Nice. Duarte floats it up ahead. On the move now is Morin. Extra shot denied by Michaud. Michaud then leaves the crease, comes up with it, long outlet pass taken far side.
Bodies flying everywhere.
Action packed. Start to this third quarter as both teams go the length of the field but come up empty. Bounce pass out in front, again stopped by Duarte. This is Dane Duarte, who saw a lot of rubber in that first half, a lot of high speed. Rubber, but settling in here, Roger, in this third quarter.
Indeed. I love to see the goalies get out like that and have no fear of taking it on themselves. And
went to nearly midfield. Now he lost it on the way to the cage. Michaud then hits his man in stride on the outlet pass. Easy clear far side. This is Zern.
Yeah, no numbers. Smart play by the Astros.
Now Druin looking for the step on Durhak. Durhak continuing to really inflict some damage with that long pole.
Yeah, and you could tell that last couple of checks by Robbie really hurt Hunter. He
looked like they had something to say to each other afterwards, too. Yeah. Got him on the forearms, it looked like. Spellman gets the step.
Oh!
Duarte got a piece. That ball ends up in the air and out of play far side.
Wow, he got his hands up quick on that one. I like the positioning. He had the proper body in the proper spot. Got his hands up quick. Really nothing to shoot at there for Spellman, but what he saw, and then Duarte got his stick in the way.
Meanwhile, it stays with Pinkerton. Some of the Londonderry fans upset. Pass broken up. Big scrum. Druin ends up with it. Whoa! Another one. Splits the defense, ends up over the left shoulder of the goaltender, and Hunter Druin now has 5 goals for Pinkerton.
That's just
low to high there, right?
Yeah. I
mean, problem?
There's nothing fancy there going on. Druin was at the right place at the right time. The ball spits out to him. What's he, about 7 yards out there when he cranks his arms? no chance for Duarte there. They need to do a better job of clearing out. If you're not going to get the ground ball, clear the body out of there. Get the bodies out of there.
Tough to see, too. A lot of traffic in front of that cage, but well, Druin found enough room to get that shot off. He's got 5 goals. His team is up 6 for the first time at 9-3, 5 minutes in. Third quarter already approaching the midway point here, third quarter.
Yeah.
Fast-moving first half. Just one penalty.
One penalty on
Declan Turner, right, yeah, of Pinkerton back in the second quarter. Meanwhile, this is turned over. Londonderry wasting little time on the restart. Smith, 2-man game for Dennis. Shot denied by Mishu. Sophomore looked like he stopped it with his right foot. He's been outstanding, by the way. Meanwhile, against the
There we go.
The Londonderry ride. A check is absorbed near midfield. A spin move by Braden Bork. Bork alive along the far sideline, being hounded by Zach Fawcett. Hands it over to the attackman Mason Barboni, and Pinkerton's in business.
Yeah, that's not something you will see very often in high school lacrosse. Fawcett with 3 one-handed checks trailing the Pinkerton player, and official Grimes just letting them play.
That's Scott Grimes?
No, Jeff.
Jeff, that's right.
Portsmouth native, good ref, been around a long time.
Yeah, this 2-man crew's done a good job today.
Yeah, they let them play.
In terms of letting them play, right.
Yeah, and there really hasn't been anything outstanding that I would disagree with or would have wanted to have seen them call. Not quite sure about Turner's penalty. I thought that was more of a slash than a push, but
meanwhile, this one broke it up.
Good play.
Spellman tried to find Druin. Londonderry the other way. Kester, who has scored twice for the Lancers, looking for 3, gets it to go.
Wow.
Boy, that one from 14 yards out. Rings the bell over the right shoulder of Mishu. And Kester showing some will here, trying to will his club back into the game at now 9-4.
Yeah, I got to give him credit. He had open attackmen on that fast break, but this is turning into the Kester Smith show for Londonderry. Those two gentlemen right there are trying to get their team back in this and putting all 10 players on their back right now.
Londonderry gets this one. It's their 5th win at the X. Or no, I'm sorry, Pinkerton.
Pinkerton.
Yeah. Pinkerton, what's it, 11-4 now? Face-offs?
I have, yes.
As the shot goes wide?
10-5.
10-5 in favor of Pinkerton. Barboni scored 3 times in that first half.
I think he's hungrier now. He hasn't had a touch in a while here.
Trying to shake off defender Evan Parker. Parker drives into the far side wing. Uber going to restart. Spellman up top. Full head of steam. He's on a mission. Sidewinder shot wide and out of play. Now Spellman plays a physical brand of lacrosse, Roger, even when he has the ball, right?
He reminds me of the old style midfielder, goes both ways, plays a very good, tough defense when he's out there, and he mixes up his shots as good as any midfielder in Division I.
He's one of Pinkerton's better football players, too. You could tell on plays like that where he dipped the shoulder, looking to create the contact. Meanwhile, this one stays with Pinkerton as they continue to produce shots. Love to see a shot total because they've got a sizable advantage there, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to need a higher pay grade to start tabulating shots, I'm afraid.
Right. Well, we'll start an internship program and
we need to get
put the youngins to work. Meanwhile, Druin draws 2, backs up. Long one with O'Loughlin here. They're going to spread it out. Isolation time. They're going to let him go one-on-one. Shot whizzes over the goaltender's head.
Yeah, Druin drew 2 guys there, which is fine. Londonderry had a little trouble getting back to the far side. And Jackson Morissette screaming at Hunter on the far wing for the ball. He was wide open.
Uber on the move. Bouncer. Little high for the sophomore, out of play, far corner.
Yeah, that got stuck in his stick. He did not release that ball very well.
Inside of 4 minutes, third
Nice
quarter.
cut.
Trying to shake off his man as Morris set. Fires low.
It's going to go Londonderry, yes, of course.
Good hustle.
Good hustle, good defense there, just at the point of release on Morissette.
Meanwhile, there's a Pinkerton player down.
Yeah, that's Morissette.
He's on his back in some pain.
Yeah, he's the one that took the shot there, and he got popped just as he released. Number 24 came in here from Londonderry.
Yeah, took a shot in the back and then landed hard on that left knee.
Yeah, that could have been a call as well.
It's been that type of game as we've talked about.
Yeah.
Physical. At times, perhaps even chippy.
Yeah, he might have got the wind knocked out of him too, getting it right across the shoulder blades like that.
Right.
Just as you're releasing and exhaling.
Right. Reminder: Pinkerton has led most, or in fact the entire way. They scored about 100 seconds in. Hunter Druin scored 3 out of the gate. Mason Barboni scored a 4th. All with just 5 minutes gone by to give the Astros a 4-0 lead. They held that through 1. Jack Kester put Londonderry on the board 3 minutes into the second to cut the Pinkerton lead to 4-1. Barboni back-to-back goals pushed the lead to 6-1 for Pinkerton. Hunter Smith, about 3 minutes later, had an answer for Londonderry, but then the half ended on a high note for Pinkerton. The sophomore Uber, his first, made it 7-2 with inside of 3 minutes to go, and then with 3 seconds to go before halftime, Hunter Druin scored number 4 to make it 8-2. Londonderry, though, has scored 2 of the 3 in this third quarter, both by Jack Kester to bring his total up to 3. Hunter Druin, the lone Pinkerton scorer in this frame. Druin now the overall goal scorer leader with 5. The Astros lead by 5, 9-4. Well, a good sign. Morissette is up, walking off the field with the assistance of the trainer. There is a penalty on Londonderry. It's against Riley Bowles, the senior who laid the hit from the backside. Bowles having a word with Coach Sampson on one knee in the penalty box.
Yeah, when we saw that on the replay and got a better look at that play, it was clear that he got him after the shot and in the back. So this could even be a locked-in penalty. I'm not sure.
Bowles, one of the football standouts for Londonderry. Druin, wide there. Came out a little awkward. Was wide to the inside. First penalty against Londonderry.
Indeed. Yeah.
Had 1 each way as we hit the 3-minute mark, third quarter.
And that was legit. That was a legitimate penalty for sure.
Astros, first EMO of the afternoon. Got a little more time with a minute, right? There it is. Barboni, undetected, kind of creeping around from behind the net. The pass is on the money. Barboni having a great night. He's got 4 goals now, and Pinkerton's lead is 6 once again at 10-4.
Yeah, Londonderry actually saw this rotation coming on the EMO, and they tried to recover up top with number 14 from Pinkerton, Joey Gallo, and that just left Barboni wide open at the bottom. So this is a locked-in penalty because that did not release. This is a man-down face-off for Londonderry.
Yeah, Bowles still in the box, down on his right knee.
And they're going to go right on offense. Look who's on the wings, Nick. They got Druin and Spellman on the wings. Going to go right at it.
The freshman face-off guy
and
runs into his own man, Spellman. That's Cole Frank, who's done a great job for Pinkerton. He's won more than he's lost. Ends up with a long pole, Jesse Morin.
A good break for the Lancers there.
Timeout called by Londonderry. It comes with 2:29 to go in this third quarter with the Lancers trailing the Astros 10-4.
Not sure how much time is left on this penalty. Probably under a minute, I would think, at this point.
Yeah, I didn't write it down.
Very slow and methodical start to that EMO for the Astros, but if I'm Coach Sampson, we are putting the ball behind goal line extended with 2 guys. We're going to protect the top of the box, and we are not going to let this ball leave that end of the field until they are back at even strength. I wouldn't even attempt to try and shoot to score unless it's right there being handed to you by Pinkerton. You need to get this guy out of the box, and you need to be on offense immediately after giving one up here.
Well, reminder, we're back at it Thursday. We're in Manchester for a big D2 matchup, end of the regular season. Winnicott and Derryfield. It's a rematch of the 2019 Division II championship game on the boys' side. The Cougars on a quest for their 5th championship in a row under Coach Chris Hetler. Winnicott, led by Pat Snow, widely seen as a legit contender in Division II. And I know, Roger, you and I have been looking forward to that one for a little while now. Our broadcast begins at about 3:45 Eastern. The first face-off will be at 4 o'clock only on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire.
Yeah, talk about, those 3 teams that are at the top of D2, Derryfield, Portsmouth, Winnicott. We've done all 3 of those teams a couple of times this year, and the last time Derryfield played Portsmouth, it was a 1-goal win for Portsmouth, and then Winnicott had just a great game last week against Portsmouth, giving them their first loss of the season.
In a 1-goal win.
In a 1-goal win, and I can't wait to see that matchup on Thursday. It's going to be great.
Weather should cooperate as well, I believe. The latest forecast shows sun and high temperatures, similar to today.
Yeah. This is exactly what you want to do if you're the Lancers. And give it to Smith or Kester and let them just rag it out.
Inside of 2 minutes, Londonderry looking to grab some momentum, trying to cut into Pinkerton's large lead.
Just keep running.
This is Dennis splitting the defenders, near side. And tough angle, goes wide. Out of bounds, stays with the Lancers.
Yeah, I'm glad they had a backup there because that's
still short-handed, by the way, as Bowles is still in the box for Londonderry.
Yeah, that's why you don't want to shoot there unless you got a backup and you're absolutely certain that you've got the ability to get the ball back.
Here's McCune, spin move, runs into trouble, lost his footing. Official going to bail him out.
Hold
against Pinkerton.
Yeah, if you're a youngster out there and playing youth lacrosse and you're in a situation like this where you got to kill the clock, just run away from everything. Follow your stick through, get it to the outside of the field, and don't try and just be a hero. You're getting double teamed here, like you see. Just keep running. Don't stop. Don't try to move.
Run away, right? The old Jefferson Airplane song?
Yeah, there's no reason to do anything else but outrun your opponent here.
Or that's Starship.
Oh, Jefferson. That's it. There it is.
Backdoor, right. Dennis. The good feed. Smith on the assist, able to drop it down low. And there you go, Roger. They do end up in the end. Was it shorthanded officially? Or
I did not see him.
I didn't
in the
either.
box.
He's not in the box now, so that may be even strength. But either way, it's what Londonderry needed. Dennis delivers his first goal. It comes with 1:10 to go, third quarter.
Yeah, and exactly like I said at the start of that, if you're given an opportunity and it's a gift and you're that close to the goal, great play. Great play by Smith and great finish by Dennis. And here we go, right off the bat. Don't lose it.
Well, they do. Just that. Little trouble there. On the move. This is Pinkerton's Tony Samiotis, one of the long stick seniors, headed to St. Joe's up in Maine.
Going to play for Coach Constantino, an old Merrimack coach, Keene State, former Keene State assistant coach. Runs a really good program up there. Good pipeline of New Hampshire players up there right now with Coach Cos.
Final 30 seconds, third quarter. Pinkerton, they've led the whole way. Doubling up the Astros now, 10-5. Doubling up the Lancers. Wow. Little finesse finish by Gallo. Fakes it high, dribbles it low. And this one hops across the goal line for goal number 11 for the home team.
That's a sweet goal. Really nice play by Spellman. Put him on the board finally. Riley's had an for afternoon. He's had a couple of good shots.
That was Gallo.
No, I'm talking about Spellman on the assist.
On the assist, my bad, yep.
Yeah, he gets on the board with a good soft pass inside, good heads up.
Gallo, meanwhile, just a sophomore. with a creative
there we go.
finish. Pinkerton, another face-off win. Nope, spoke too soon, didn't I?
Might have been interference, not on Cole Frank, but on the wing.
I'm thinking a legal pick there with just under 13 seconds. So Londonderry still enough time to get a shot off here.
Yeah, give the ball to Kester or Smith.
This is
here.
Kester. He goes back door, but it's dropped by Savage on the near wing. Zern's going to give it a fling, and that's going to do it for quarter number 3. Astros with a big lead, 11-5 through 3 quarters. Will Pinkerton hang on and win it wire to wire on senior day, or will Londonderry spoil the celebration? We begin to find out next. Fourth quarter on the way. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Yeah.
Fourth quarter. Pinkerton, an 11-5 lead over Londonderry. Nick and Astis, Roger Howe with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week. Reminder, subscribe to our YouTube channel. That way you don't miss a thing ever. FNL NH Media is the handle. Again, we're on YouTube. Friday Night Lights New Hampshire on YouTube. FNL NH Media. Well, Pinkerton jumped out to a 4-0 lead just 5 minutes into the game. Londonderry slowly has tried to make this competitive. At one point, an Aiden Dennis goal with a minute 10 to go in that third quarter made it 10-5. Joey Gallo, though, with the answer with just 18 seconds to go in the third, and that's where we are, 11-5. Pinkerton looking for the W here on senior night.
Yeah, good quarter of lacrosse. A little more back and forth. The one penalty and a EMO goal. Ready for the fourth.
What do we got at the X, Roger?
We've got. Boy, you challenged me with all this math. I got 10 to 8.
10-8,
and that'll be a Pinkerton face-off.
So
there
11-8 now,
violation.
right?
11-8. Yep.
11-8 Astros. Cole Frank, the freshman, has taken, I think, every one of them for Pinkerton.
Cole has, yeah. Crucial on Londonderry, and I think there was one by a long pole. Might have been number 18, Jesse Morin, earlier in the game.
Morin has played well. So is this kid, Hunter Druin, the senior captain. 5 goals, the Colgate commit, scored 3 in the first 3 minutes. 1 just before halftime, 1 more in that third quarter, and overall has put on quite a show.
Let's see what Hunter does in this quarter, though. Robbie Durhack has started to figure him out a little bit, and he's kind of put Hunter on ice for at least a little while here. He got a goal earlier in the third quarter, but hasn't really even seen much in the way of the ball.
Mason Barboni has helped pick up the slack. Has had 4 goals himself today. So those 2 seniors have combined for 9 of the 11. Shot jammed up by Gallo. Scored one of his own a moment ago. Here's Druin, going to wind up and fire. Bullet goes wide left.
Hey, good pop by Evan Parker there on the slide, too, as he released. That's what you want to see out there.
It's been a physical game.
Good.
Spellman to Barboni. Beautiful pass. Caught the Londonderry defense, I think, by surprise there. Barboni, his 5th goal. And this attack looking very formidable, Roger. minute into this fourth quarter.
Yeah, we've seen that so often this season. The ball comes in on the end line. The defense kind of just falls asleep for some reason. A lot of times we see this. And, there was no second slide close enough to even come close to Barbeau.
Pinkerton continuing to expand the lead. It's 7 now for the first time. A face-off win goes to Frank. Frank avoids a hit, gets the pass off. This one pulled in one-handed by Ryan Lynch, who was surrounded by blue jerseys. Gets it back out to Frank Druin. Ready at the top of the box. Swings it near side for the defender, Turner. Turner on the step. The shot denied. Duarte stops it low. Ground ball taken in high by Druin. Comes to a stop here on the near side wing. Now going to backtrack with O'Loughlin shadowing him.
Yeah, they're going to pull Frank off the field and just slow it down here. Watch for Turner to come off next.
Gallo getting ready just beyond the 50-yard line.
Yeah, they're going to leave him open.
Druin. Oh, look at this. Left side hits Duarte in the chest. Sophomore goaltender rattled. An ankle-breaking move there by Druin to set up the shot, and then, boy, it looked like a rubber bullet coming in there from about 13 yards out, right in the chest, under the armpit, it looked like, in the rib area of the goaltender.
We could hear that all the way up here with a headset on, and that was
cringeworthy. Shows you Duarte's tough as nails, though. He's fine, or at least that's what he said to the official.
Yeah. He doesn't look rattled. And then they throw
Londonderry's rattled, all right.
Yeah.
Unforced error, far side goes away.
And there's no
from
need
Cameron
for that.
McManus.
There's no need for that. I mean, Duarte is right there. Unless Duarte said, "Don't throw the ball to me." I mean, you don't go across field unless you have to.
It's a good rule of thumb in any sport, really. Near side, Spellman.
Nice
the back door again. Lynch, though, wide on the shot. Well, you mentioned Spellman. He's been held off the scorer's sheet from a goal-scoring perspective, but he's found ways to get his guys involved in two assists in this one as well.
Yeah, and, hey, when you can get everybody on the offensive side of the ball involved in the offense, you're going to see success. And it's
unselfish play, too. Spellman been a goal scorer more often than not, getting his guys involved.
Exactly.
Druin behind the net. Durhawk continuing to body him. Been pounding at those forearms with that stick. Here's Uber. Very long shot. Won't get through the defense. Kester got a piece. Ground ball, though, goes right to Gallo. Pinkerton in no hurry here. Over 3 minutes already gone off this fourth quarter clock.
Exactly. Now you're going to run a little low, high here. Watch the two men in the middle on the crease. They pop out.
Shot. Wide there. Gallo on the run. Barboni, 5 goals. Druin, 5 goals. Gallo with 1. And Michael Uber with 1.
Same cast of characters on the offensive side for them.
Here's the cut. Gallo broken up. Duarte pushes him aside. Ball loose, goes through the crease. Somebody took a Superman-type dive onto the field there. That was Lynch.
Yeah, McManus pushed him, and that's going to go back to Pinkerton.
Been a rough and tumble type of game here. 2 rivals meeting for the first of 2 this week. Possibly a third in the cards as well in the quarterfinal round. In fact, it's widely expected to be the case. Pinkerton has to get through Salem first. Londonderry will get a bye in that first round.
Good slides all the way across there on Spellman.
Yep. O'Loughlin pushed him way out. Now a little give and go with Uber. It's Spellman, a jog on the far side wing.
This might be a good matchup for Riley. Here he goes.
He got the step. Weaves his way now behind the cage. Looks for the cutter. Gallo shot, knocked down, and covered up by Duarte. Duarte, pretty good in the second half. Outlet, though, again goes astray.
Londonderry.
He's going to stay with Londonderry, yep.
Yeah, another good pass there from Riley Spellman below goal line to Gallo. They got something going on there.
Yeah, a lot of these short kind of interior passes that have set up some point-blank shots.
Yeah, some very subtle passes. Oh, nice
Here's
cut.
A nice cut. The bouncer from Kester is well off target.
Again, that did not come out of his stick.
Cleanly.
cleanly at all. Yeah, we've seen
Good
a lot
cut,
of that.
though. He was wide open.
Yeah, indeed.
Here's, who's this?
Number 6.
That's DeFranzo, number 8.
Number 8.
We wielded a wild shot. Yeah, I could go without that old English type of font on the Londonderry letters, because 8 and 6 look very similar.
There it is.
There's a shot. Kester, number 4. That may have been 5-hole. Either way, it was low. Yeah, great placement, Kester. Well, he can leave here with his head held high, win or lose, because he's been outstanding today for Londonderry.
Yeah, and him, like I said, him and Smith have been the two that have really shouldered a lot of the offensive burden here today. McCoon gets an assist there, so good look by him. But obviously you can't leave Kester open that much.
Well, kind of a wrestling match at the X. Londonderry's Alex Crucio called for the violation, so another Pinkerton win at the X. 13-8, I think, is the count.
Push. That's got to be a flag.
There's the flag.
Yeah.
2 flags.
Yeah, I think they're both seeing the same thing. Rhymesy got it first on the far side. It's going to be a push.
Against McEachern, I think.
Yeah.
Dylan McEachern, the quarterback of the football team. A little too aggressive there. Is that just the second Londonderry penalty?
That is the second one.
And only one against Pinkerton.
And only one against Pinkerton.
Yep. And that was in the first half, way back in the second quarter.
Yep.
Two against the Lancers have been in the second half.
Yeah, that first one was as good as maybe 3 penalties, being a 2-minute lock.
Right.
But thankfully they only succumbed to 1 goal by Pinkerton.
Coming up on the midway point, fourth quarter.
A nice turn.
Lynch gets the second EMO goal for Pinkerton, and the first by the sophomore. So Ryan Lynch, who's played hard, gets rewarded finally to make it 13-6 Astros.
Yeah, and Liam Prescott comes in and gets an assist on that. So nice play. Nothing fancy.
Pinkerton is led throughout. And looked like, frankly, the team from the get-go, Roger, that was ready to go. And I think that really carried them to that 4-0 lead after 1.
Yeah, right out of the gate. They scored 4 straight goals within.
Nice play by Turner, by the way.
Yeah.
4 straight goals in 5 minutes to begin the game. And Londonderry really has had their bright spots since, but it's been an uphill battle since really that point.
Yep, and the Lancers really haven't found an answer to anything out there in either, a long possession with a run. That's a good one. That's a good one. Good look. They got numbers. They got numbers.
McCune across, pass batted down, and then taken away by Zern. I think that was Samiotis, the long stick, who got a piece. Now Zern goes to his defensive mate across the field, up the sideline to the third defender, Turner. And the Astros will settle in on the attack here as we move towards the 5-minute mark.
Yeah, Londonderry made a nice play here at midfield, got the ball over quickly. They had numbers and just couldn't get out in front of that far enough away from the Pinkerton defense to get a nice clean pass across field. Would have been a great play.
Druin with Durhack all over him. It's been a great matchup to watch. Shake and bake, shot wide. Future Colgate Raider almost punched his ticket for goal number 6.
Yeah, Robbie Durhack's going to see number 1s in his sleep tonight. Just he's running him hard out there. Yeah,
Durhack's held his own. Some of those shots early from Druin were just nothing you could do.
Yeah, and you can't blame Robbie on some of those blasts from the outside, especially the one that he really ripped in there with seconds left on the clock. The goalie had a clear look at that. Robbie did everything he could to step in, and I know he wasn't screened.
I think everybody in the building knew that shot was coming. He ended up scoring his 4th goal with 3 seconds to go before halftime. That put Pinkerton out in front 8-2 at the break. They extended that lead to 11-5 after 3.
Yeah,
and here we are at 13-6 with, 4.5 now to go in the fourth. We got a timeout on the field.
Good timeout. This is a smart move.
This is Pinkerton?
This is Londonderry.
Londonderry
they
calling.
have possession. They're gonna slow it down. And
Coach Sampson seems like always looking for an opportunity to coach kind of a situation within a game. At this point, maybe it's out of reach at 13-6, but you find other ways, right, Roger, to keep your guys engaged and to look for a goal here within the final 4.5.
Yeah, I think you just try to forget about the score for right now. That's a big mountain to climb right now, being down by 7. Hey, we've got Thursday to look forward to, so let's come out of this positively. Let's try and get a run going, but it starts with the first goal. They do have possession here. That's why I like this timeout by Coach Sampson. And let's try to run our offense and make a couple of good plays here before we call it quits here. It's going to be a tough score to overcome at this point for a win, but you want to try and do as much positive things on the field as you can right now.
You mentioned they'll be back at it Thursday in the regular season finale, and very likely have a third matchup planned in the playoffs. They would meet in the quarterfinals of Region Number 1 in Division 1. Still business to take care of here, though, as we approach the 4-minute mark. Kester, who has scored 4 to lead the way for the Lancers.
Nice move.
Spin move by Savage. Shot going to bounce wide.
Good collapse by the Astros there on defense. By the time he got his hands raised, there were 3 white jerseys right in front of him. He had nowhere to go.
Smith. Zern's done a good job on him.
Turn.
Smith is going to get his second. Helmet went flying for some reason after the goal.
I think he got his...
You get hit there?
I think the stick from the defender kind of got wrapped around him a little bit. He kind of
check out the move here. Good screen. Second defender a little late. That was McDonald, and then
he could have been called for unnecessary roughness there.
Smith is second. He scored back in the second quarter. Londonderry going to fight. They get the goal out of the timeout. I'm sure that's sitting well with Coach Sampson.
Yeah.
Face-off, though, to Pinkerton.
Just what you want to see. Good cross field. Watch it.
Shot, score. Well, Barboni putting on a show, having a career-like night. 6 for Mason, 3 in each half.
Yeah, six for Mason, but Druin's got 4 assists now in this game. So, where Druin has kind of been silent here since the first goal of the third period, he's racking up some apples out there. Good for him.
So 14-7, a football score here. Just somewhat appropriate, given these are also 2 of the better football programs in the state, as we can attest to every fall.
Yeah.
Londonderry, face-off win, going to pull it out. Again, trying to hoping to finish on a high note here. Pass away from Savage.
Yeah, I haven't been privileged to be at a Londonderry Pinkerton football game in the fall, but I wonder.
Well, usually, if it's here anyway, you'd see nothing but
bodies
all around the track. The entire grandstand here in front of us is usually full. Youngsters usually playing on the grassy hill over there. I mean, it's an atmosphere for sure. Meanwhile, Fawcett ran out of room. Lost the ball. Michaud, an easy pickup. Zern back to Michaud here as McDonald takes over on the clear.
Just leg it. Kill the clock and leg it.
McDonald, full sprint, the basketball star, able to get to the midfield.
Exactly.
Flag flies at the 50.
Yeah.
Trailer, extra pass, Barboni. Back door, McDonald wants a piece. His shot goes wide.
This is going to be a penalty, I think, on the attackman, Smith. He clipped him right in the grill as McDonald went by.
Here's the shot by McDonald. Yeah, and that was right in front of the official, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who got as good a look as anybody at it.
So we'll give him a slash for a minute and let him
cool
down a little bit.
Right.
That was Josh DeFranzo.
Lancers now with 3 penalties in the second half, after going penalty-free in the first half.
Yeah, now that you said that about the font on their jerseys, it is a lot more difficult to see that.
I'm not a fan.
Than almost as bad as the Campbell uniforms a few weeks ago. We couldn't see the red and the black from afar.
Right. Well, right. I would take this over that because of the colors.
Yes, yeah. The
white on blue is okay, but I don't like that font.
No.
I think Howard Sobolov needs to order some new uniforms for next year.
It must be a Gothic or medieval type of
right
font because of the
Old
Lancer
English
thing.
is what I would
I'd
call
go with
it,
Old English, Old Baskerville or something like that you see on your little Word document. What am I going to use today? Mix it up.
Sure. Meanwhile, Barboni for Spellman. I think Spellman wants a goal, don't you? Up top, Gallo, shot score. The sophomore will get another. Some tic-tac-toe there. A third EMO goal for Pinkerton. It comes with 1:42 to go.
Yeah, that's a duplicate of the last goal of the third quarter between Spellman with the assist going over to Gallo. They've got some synergy out there, the two of them. They seem to know where they are on the field. That was a pretty simple play, in all honesty, being man down by Londonderry. But still, they seek each other out, and I agree with you. I think Spellman really would have wanted to rip one there.
Well, again, unselfish.
Yeah.
He could have. Could have taken a bad angle shot there instead. Got the wheels in motion to get his teammate a better shot.
Exactly. Yeah, this is what primes you up for the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta play smart lacrosse and play for the team.
Unselfish too, right?
Play for the team.
They've been cohesive really all 4 quarters from the get-go. Drew in shot, jammed up, saw 3 defenders there. He's going to stick with it. Just still going 100% there in the corner. Big battle ensues. Ground ball still loose. Poke back towards the cage. Duarte has it. Quick outlet intercepted by Uber. Uber back middle, behind the back shot. Rebound, shot and score. The first attempt by Druin denied. The second one by Colby Gagnon, the junior, ends up in the back of the net.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, that was Duarte's error. You don't need to push the ball after making a good steal there down in the cage. He was throwing that upfield into traffic, and it was picked off immediately. So he didn't have a whole lot of room for error there, and, of course, he ended up getting burned on that.
Comes with just 53 seconds to go. Reminder after the game, quick break, full recap, out-of-town scoreboard. Exeter and Bedford played earlier today. That is a matchup of 2 of the better Division I teams. We'll get to that score for you. And we'll preview Winnicott at Dairyfield, our next broadcast Thursday as well. Here's a big hit. McCune ended up on his back. Outlet immediately taken. This is Garrett Mulhall, one of the reserves for Pinkerton, getting action in the final 25 seconds. Meanwhile, some of the Londonderry fans upset at that hit down at the other end.
Yeah, I disagree with that. That's lacrosse.
Meanwhile, the Pinkerton second unit poised to run out the clock here as we are down to 5 seconds. The Astros, they came ready to play tonight on senior night, and they hand Londonderry a lopsided 16-7 loss. The rematch, of course, looms to Thursday. But boy, oh boy, Pinkerton really from the get-go scored 4 goals in the opening 5 minutes and never looked back as they went it going away. 16-7. Right back to Derry in just a moment. You are watching the Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school, varsity, and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. Are you thinking of selling your home? Well, now may be the time, given that spring is here, the market is hot, and interest rates remain at all-time lows. It's time to call Roger Howe, a licensed professional realtor with the Bean Group. Not sure what your home is worth? Roger will provide a market analysis for you at no charge. With 12 years experience in residential, commercial, leasing, and investment properties, Roger knows your local market. So contact Roger Howe of the Bean Group today. Is your company interested in showcasing your brand to thousands of high school sports fans across New Hampshire? If not, why not? And if so, let's go. Friday Night Lights New Hampshire is seeking sponsorship partners. It's a perfect way for your company to get out in front of the moms and dads who make up our community. Help us help you, and we can grow together. If you're interested in partnering with Friday Night Lights New Hampshire, then email us at fnlnhmedia@gmail.com. That's fnlnhmedia@gmail.com. Join our team today.
Well, a good night for the boys in white. Pinkerton, a 16-7 victory over Londonderry. Lancers will have a chance to enact some revenge on Thursday when they take the field for the regular season finale in Londonderry. But, boy, oh boy, Pinkerton came out firing. They score 4 goals in the first 5 minutes and never really looked back. They built up an 8-2 lead at half, led by the seniors Hunter Druin and Mason Barboni. And that combination continued to roll in the second half. Astros made the Lancers pay on some penalties as well. 2 extra man opportunity goals in that second half. And they end the game, just for good measure, on a 3-0 run and close this out by their largest margin, 16-7, an impressive wire-to-wire victory for Coach Gaudreau and his Pinkerton Astros.
Yeah, a total 4-quarter performance by the Astros. Didn't see a whole lot of glitches in their game today. They played well from start to finish, and as you said, they came out right at the gun and literally didn't give up the entire game. Even that last flurry in the fourth quarter, they were still ready to go at it and obviously scored a late goal there in the fourth. But we'll see what happens on Thursday on grass at Londonderry
and
their
typically,
senior night.
Right, typically the second matchup of these home and homes, really statewide, boys, girls, regardless of division, the second game has been closer, a lot closer.
Yes, that's been a trend, and certainly we'll probably see something a little more like a 50-50 battle on Londonderry's field then.
Yeah, Londonderry is going to, I would assume, use this as a gut check and come back inspired. As you mentioned, senior night will be, we presume, Thursday at Londonderry when these two teams get together. But tonight, the Hunter Druin Mason Barboni combination, too much. They score 5 goals apiece. Combine that with a strong sophomore class effort from Joey Gallo, who scored twice. The goaltender, Michoud, is a sophomore. He
came up big when he needed to.
Exactly. Michael Uber, another sophomore, scored a big one in that second quarter. So the future bright, the present bright for Pinkerton as well. On the Londonderry side, Jack Kester had a great individual effort tonight, 4 goals to lead the Lancers. Had some help, 2 from Hunter Smith, a goal from Aiden Dennis. But that's been it. As in the end, again, it's Pinkerton's night, 16-7 the final.
Yeah, and I would say the most surprising and nice thing to see on my scorecard is just how many people got involved in the offense on Pinkerton's side today, how many assists were tallied, and it wasn't like it was a one-on-one battle with one guy that simply took over out there, and that was nice to see, and they needed to see that going into the playoffs.
A lot of extra passes that set up some high-quality shots near the net. I'm sure Coach Gaudreau loved to see that unselfish team approach that the offense took tonight.
Yeah, the awareness was right there all 4 quarters.
One other big game in D1 that went final earlier, Exeter over Bedford, and that one was not close, 13-4.
13-4 right out of the gate. Watched that game as much as I could on YouTube, the live feed, and Exeter just took it to them. Bedford didn't even have an answer. And as you mentioned a couple times this season, and even so today, Bedford just doesn't have the depth. They don't.
In comparison to some of those Bulldog teams we've seen in the past, some of those teams that you were involved coaching with, perhaps not, but you never know, because we've seen Bedford pull off some surprises before, but tonight was not their night. Exeter, a very good team, as we know. They get it done 13-4. Thursday, we're back on the trail in the Queen City. Winnicott at Dairyfield. That's a 4 o'clock Eastern time start. We're on the air about 3:45, so you do not want to miss that. We'll be there in Manchester to see Coach Hetler's Cougars battle Coach Snow's Warriors, 2 of the big contenders in Division II, meeting for a final tune-up before the big dance, so to speak. The tournament begins. And then every Sunday, we are live, the FNL NH Lacrosse Show. It's presented by the New Hampshire Tomahawks. That gets underway at 9 a.m. Roger, some final thoughts here from Derry.
Great game for the Astros. It was nice to see them break loose from what we had seen and what I had seen all season long. This next matchup is going to be key going into the playoffs for them. Londonderry's got some things to do before they, come out of the season on Thursday and look towards that that next game, which I don't want to take anything away from the Blue Devils of Salem, but it's apparent that it's probably going to be a Pinkerton-Londonderry matchup in that first bracket, meaning that they could end up playing the winner of the Bedford bye, whoever they end up with, between Souhegan and Concord, the winner of that playing
game. That could go either way.
That could go either way, yeah. Souhegan's had a down season.
But they've had a tough schedule, and Concord, they're beating teams they're supposed to beat. So
yeah,
I think that one could go either way.
Yeah, and Souhegan's, I think they only have one win, and it's against Concord. So, we'll see what happens.
All right. Want to thank Brian O'Reilly and his staff. Grade A staff here. As usual, we appreciate them letting us up here in the box and letting us do our thing. Even though the old coach is on vacation this week, his academy is in good hands even when he's not here. He's got that good of a staff. I want to thank our engineer/videographer, the man upstairs in the crow's nest. That's John Barron, providing all the sights and sounds tonight in 1080 HD for you. And, of course, the man calling the shots behind the curtain, Director Ben Beals, back in the Beals Insurance Studios. And, of course, the big man in the big chair down in the Sunshine State, Executive Producer Steve Beals. For my partner, Roger Howe, my name is Nick Anastas, saying so long. Final score, final time, Pinkerton 16, Londonderry 7. This has been a presentation of our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.